All right, before we get started, just listen to this. And now, listen after we're done. For under $30, you can make your garage door sound brand new and save years of strain on the opener. And here's the best part. We're not going to remove any hinges from the door. We're not going to bend the track up out of shape just to get the rollers out. And we're not going to unhook the cable that can be extremely dangerous to you or anybody around you. And it ends up unspooling and making a bird's nest, like you see in a lot of other videos. And here's the big one. Most videos say the bottom roller is just too dangerous to replace, so they tell you just to leave the old one in there forever. Well, I'm replacing all of my rollers, all 12 of them, including the bottom ones, quickly and safely. I did my whole door in less than 20 minutes, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So let's get started. One of the best upgrades that you can make to your garage door, both for the noise and for reducing strain on the opener, is switching from metal rollers to nylon rollers. Now, I picked these Dura-Lift rollers after looking at a ton of options, and here's why. One is that people bought them and are genuinely happy. I talked to a bunch of them. They said they would buy them again because they worked so good. And they're reasonably priced. For about $30, I bought this whole set for my door. Plus, they say they're 75% quieter than metal rollers, and we're going to test that to see if that's true. Also, they have a triple coated shaft to prevent corrosion. And the one thing I liked about them also was they have a snap-in bearing cap that keeps dirt out from your bearings, so they work great all the time. And last but not least, they have a lifetime guarantee. So how could you go wrong? And I'll leave a link down in the description so you can pick up these rollers if you want to buy them. So before we replace anything, we need to clean these tracks. Now this is where a lot of DIY videos get it wrong. A lot of them will tell you to go ahead and oil your tracks up or grease them or spray silicone on them. Don't do that. So grab some brake cleaner or a fast drying degreaser. I like to spray it on a rag and wipe from the inside of the track, or just spray it directly on the track to wipe off anything that's on there. So with the door down, we'll do the upper track first. Then we'll go ahead and raise the door up and do the lower part of the track. Now here's something that you must hear. Never ever lubricate the track itself. And let me show you exactly why. Now watch how this roller rolls on clean metal. It rolls perfectly. Even if I sprinkle some dirt on it, it still rolls, and the dirt is easily blown off or removed. But look what happens if you put grease or say Vaseline on it, or even silicone on the track. You see, the roller is supposed to roll, not slide. And a greasy track becomes a dirt magnet. The same way when you're pushing a shopping cart in the store and all of a sudden you hit something on the ground and the wheel locks up and it stops rolling and just drags. Well, it's the same concept. Now that we've got the track all clean, we're only going to work on one side at a time. So don't do both sides at once. So take a Sharpie and outline the two track brackets. Now this makes sure that everything goes back in the exact position later that we took it out. It's very important. So now remove only the two wood screws holding the brackets to the wall. And don't touch the red bolts ever. Leave that alone. So with the garage door almost fully open but not quite, we're going to replace rollers 5, 4, and 3 safely without removing the hinges and without bending the track. Now, when I'm talking about not bending the track, I'm talking about actually permanently bending it out of shape so you can pull the roller out, how some people do like this, and then push it back in and bend the thing back, and it never really goes back into perfect shape. What we're going to do is what I call flexing. Now, flexing is just barely flexing the track so that the roller comes out easily, and then when you change the roller, you just lightly flex the track back again and let it go back in there around the roller. You're not permanently bending it, but you're just lightly flexing it, and it does not hurt the shape of the track at all. You're not bending it, you're flexing it. There is a big difference. Now before we insert the new roller, I use a gun cleaning rod sprayed with silicone and run it inside the hinge tube. Now you don't have to do this, but I like to start out with the tube that's clean so there's no dirt or maybe any shavings of metal inside there. So now go ahead and slide the new rollers in, then lift the door up just a little bit, flex the track again slightly, and lower it so that the rollers drop back in the track. So the first 3 are done. Now here's where we slow down just a little bit and get serious. Never ever remove the bottom hinge. This bottom hinge is on tension with this cable. You can hear the tension on the cable. So you never want to remove that cable. It can be very dangerous and you can be seriously injured, or someone around you can be seriously injured. So even with the door open, that cable can whip like a steel snake and just ruin your whole day. So lower the garage door just enough so the rollers are lined up with the 2 track brackets that we loosened earlier. Now flex the track by hand. The door will have a tendency to fold just a little bit, but that's okay. The other side is holding everything solid, so you're not going to have to worry about ruining your door or bending it. So remove the old rollers, put the new ones in, but make sure the cable stays behind them between you and the outside of your house. Then flex the track a little bit and put them right back in. Now my door has 12 rollers, so I have 2 left. And if yours has 10, you only have 1 left to do. And it's the very last one, number 6. So raise the door slightly until the last rollers are in the flex zone from earlier. Then flex, lift, and pop out. Swap that roller out, flex it, and drop it back in, and you're done. Now let's go down and reattach those brackets. So grab the 2 screws and line the brackets up with the Sharpie marks. Now these screws should be fine because they're going into wood. I always recommend adjusting the clutch on your drill or your drill driver so that you don't strip out the wood when you're putting your screw back in. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link in the description to another video I made on exactly how to do that. And that's how you safely replace all the rollers. Yeah, even the bottom roller. No hinge removal, no cable unspooling, and no track that's permanently bent out of shape and you can't get it back into shape again. And no 1 to 2 hour nightmares. When I did my door last week, I replaced all 12 rollers in about 20 minutes from start to finish. It's fast, it's safe, and it makes a huge difference. Now, let's do the final test and let's see if these really make it quiet like they say they will. Alright, the moment of truth. Let's see the difference. And now, listen after we're done. Well, that's a massive improvement for such a cheap and simple upgrade. Now, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell because I've got a video coming up on how to properly lubricate the whole garage door and where to lubricate it without destroying your track. And this should be done about 2 times a year, so it's real important and it's good to know. That way you can keep your door working properly throughout the whole year. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. It might be just the video you need for the project that you're working on or getting ready to work on. And don't forget to check out my other videos. I'll put a link in the corner up here and you'll be able to see all sorts of videos on DIY home repair that you can do without being a professional. And don't forget to share it with other people. There might be somebody who really needs to hear these that can help them out, not only do it properly, but do it safe and they won't get injured. And don't forget to check the description down below. I'll put links in there for the products and tools that I use and recommend. So thanks for watching. You take care and God bless.